I got you. Let it ride real quick. Look.
City eyes, it's time to Bogart. My God, a real nigga, cause he wasn't no flaw. Posted on the corner like a watchdog. Family secure, got that shotty in the closet by the mob ball. Fuck what they heard, tell them it's all true. Be cautious, that foundation falls till you fall through. They gon' fall. Look, I keep this shit 50 times 2. Ain't no more heart in this game, I'm John Q. Colder than the avalanche, way above average. Offense taste sweet, told him make me an apple crisp. Left us in the valley full of bones, this where hope found. Child become a man, dark sands get broke down. Riding through Evanston with Mark Quad, telling me how the crackers turn his childhood to a ghost town. Focus out, nigga, I lay that game down. I feel his pain, cause nothing is the same now. Let my light shine like heaven through a rain cloud. Glock have a fit like my child, no tantrums. Try to warn them niggas, we bear arms like tarantulas. Them other niggas rap, I make anthems. I really seen profits under this banner. Made my enemies bow down on camera. Told my design I wanted black and white like a panda. I'm better than that nigga that sunk dirty Diana. Look, I move like a Brazilian, precious cargo. Spirit ancient, but I got a new semi-auto. Wave that bitch around like where's Wardo. Sleep if they won't, I cut through they Z's like I'm Zorro. Hate me for his name, so I gotta keep that steel clutch. Trust me, I'm not what you think. I squeeze till it click like Dorothy when the heels touch. The world got me dumb, I don't feel much. Ride around with Yaradon, just left the state bridge. Looking for a bitch better than Baby's kid. Remember I dropped Quiet Storm, I've been gone ever since. Still in the field, fuck them niggas on the fence, yeah.
Yeah. Cold shit. I ain't come with goons, but I'm well connected. Walk in the room, it's pop, 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 like you got rejected. Let me see if you qualify or not. Spinning up in a tinted truck, riding around your block. Busy man, I get a word, yeah, this shit from top to bottom like a motherfucking ceiling fan. Hopping out the rental van, on my way to LAX. Brothers out in Cali and they killers out of every set. But I ain't crippin' on no blood. One West, all my niggas got it out the mud. Put your face on a t-shirt, memory of niggas acting tough in them songs, that's the drugs. I don't need no cases, all my pistols clean. So now I weigh my options, used to use the triple beam. Used to get the wop, mix it with the nicotine. Now I travel state to state and put on for my team.
The fuck wrong with them? Ain't on my level, I should let my dog get them. I see niggas and they feelings, I don't feel them. Kick the Glocky with me, it was like a ball with it. Me at the end, I gotta stay patient. They hate me, Lord, I gotta stay dangerous. You one of them? Yeah. What's the problem? I'm one West, go to war with everybody. Cut the grass for the snakes, fuck the gossip. Front line with them soldiers, that's my posture. Gun drawn, trying to curse an imposter. Shit get out the pocket, go to war with everybody, yeah. Shit that hate, make it to the featherweights. Niggas claim they hard, but they sweeter than a debit cake. Hold on, think it's time to introduce. I'm a man and a beast and a step and a ruler. Hold on, and a G and a soldier and a mover. Hold on, and a killer and a prophet and a shooter, nigga. Trying to stay humble, my shit crazy. Cold leader, need the blue stripes, no brick break. Can't be serious, you a funny boy, young fly. Look wrong, must be a dummy, I ain't gun shy. Fuck that little bitch, she a hook. Nigga swear he the go, bring him to the bush. To the butcher. The fuck wrong with him? Ain't on my level, I should let my dog get him. Niggas in their feelings, I don't feel them. Kid the Glocky with me, it was like a ball with him. Be at the end, gotta stay patient. They hate me, Lord, I gotta stay patient. You one of them? What's the problem? I'm one West, go to war with everybody.
I'm from Philly, you get hot, you catch a cold case. I'm one West, these brothers trying to set my soul straight. They done turned me to a prophet from a demon, and I'm locked in this shit and I ain't leaving. Never. Ski mask Transform the war mode like I'm Voltron. Stamp on my head and my chest from the most high. Put something tight around your neck like a bow tie. Got my niggas waiting charged up like they phone died.
Red letter, drip clean, it looks so fly. Claim he riding, that's why I left his ass roadside. He gon' die, skyscraper to a nosedive. 9mm plus P, fuck a 4-5. The fuck wrong with him? Ain't on my level, I should let my dog get him. I see niggas and they feelings all fill. Kick the Glocky with me, it was like a ball with him. We at the end, I gotta stay patient. They hate me, Lord, I gotta stay patient. You one of them? Yeah. What's the problem? I'm one west, go to war with everybody. Backstage.
You ain't no Israelite, bitch, you a gospelite, bitch.
Fuck you talking about?
If that nigga on wall, bitch, we ready. It ain't hard to find us. Hawk, I keep that stick locked, loaded, boy, he'll fade you line up. Young nigga name is Slayer. What you think, boy, you be done to try. Soft coast shit, we bought it. UPK, shoot solid, little bitch think I'm crazy, think I'm playing like bitch, I ain't the one. Warfare every day, so who is you, bitch? I don't need your love. Killers right round the way. What you think? I love this brotherhood, hood. More than you, bitch. Sharp on shit, I'm bout it. UPK too solid. Fuck nigga don't want war. It ain't enough clips in your army. All the bitches wanna take my piece. All they hoes wanna take my piece. All they niggas wanna take my piece. No, I can't let a dog take it from me. I can't let a dog take it from me. You a hoe study and you dummy. And these bitches really out this bitch walking around like they don't know nothing. And a lame nigga fall for them and get set up for the coins and get gunned down, man down. Should've took the time, get a damn no. But I see the sorry and I show her. She could never get a priest hoe. You a dirt ass, rust ass neck bitch with that fake ass jewelry. In Tennessee while I'm touring. It's a Tennessee, but she luring. Yeah, that sucker duck bitch ass boy, fuck nigga over that bit muggin'. I say, if that nigga on wall, bitch, we ready. It ain't hard to find us. Hawk, I keep that stick locked, loaded, boy, he'll fade you line up. Young nigga name is Slayer. What you think, boy, you be done to try. Soft coast shit, we bout it. UPK too solid, little bitch think I'm crazy, think I'm playing like bitch, I ain't the one. Warfare every day, so who is you, bitch? I don't need your love. Killers right round the way. What you think? I love this brotherhood, hood. More than you, bitch. You a lame nigga down to me. Eat candy, but I'm sucker free. You a little nigga, ain't nothing to me. Base up, boy, I fit a beat. Yeah, AR-223. Draco with a magazine. Yeah, that clip look like limousine. I shoot your ass in the spleen. Boy, I bust your ass in the temple. We debating by the temple. Tell the truth, boy, you's a victim. And you squirm off like a lizard. Nigga walk down my road. Why does nigga come down my road? Boy, come down my road. Boy, I charge your ass toll fee. I'm a real big priest, nigga. UPK play for keys, nigga. Commanding general get a damn order, but ain't nothing to me to damn kill you. I stuck in his ass like a cat. All weapons, boys full of tech. Boy, like a close combat. Nigga got popped off for a neck. If that nigga won't walk, bitch, we ready. It ain't hard to find us. Hawk, I keep that stick locked, loaded, boy, he'll fade you line up. Young nigga name is Slayer. What you think, boy, you be done to try. Soft coast shit, we bout it. UPK too solid, little bitch think I'm crazy, think I'm playing like bitch, I ain't the one. Warfare every day, so who is you, bitch? I don't need your love. Killers right round the way. What you think? I love this brotherhood, hood. More than you, bitch.
Christ said 7 women gon' be on one nigga in the end time. Nigga, fuck wrong with you, boy. Stressed by that damn hoe ass bitch. Fake ass nigga too. Dumb ass motherfucker. Fuck you.
Turn to hell, I gotta stay alive. Lord have mercy on my soul, stand by my side. I killed the old man and I watched him die. Lost a couple niggas, guess he wasn't my round. Hey, play my niggas, lay you down, they all down to ride. Keep my gun in my arm, I gotta stay alive. I gotta stay alive. Keep my gun in my arm, I gotta stay alive. Tell me we don't live in hell. My brother doing 55 in that cell. Nigga claiming he your round here spin shell. Same nigga you put on to hit the stand and tell. How the fuck you turn your back on a nigga that love you? Treat your kids like my kids, treat you like a brother. I told my dog, let's leave the streets to serve the most high. He said, fuck that shit, he tryna sell another pie. His daddy killed him, put him in the trunk, set him on fire. His wife was pregnant, he ain't never get to see his child. Had me thinking to myself, what happened if I die? Look my babies in the eyes, I gotta stay alive. I put my ego on the shelf and my pride to the side. I'm with some niggas who gon' step and got God on their side. Got in the ISUPK, they keep asking me why. As I do the work of the Lord, I gotta stay alive. Face the east, pray alive. I seen heaven turn to hell, I gotta stay alive. Lord have mercy on my soul, stand by my side. I killed the old man and I watched him die. Lost a couple niggas, guess he wasn't my round. Hey, play my niggas, lay you down, they all down to ride. Keep my gun in my arm, I gotta stay alive. I gotta stay alive. Keep my gun in my arm, I gotta stay alive.
You ever pump a pack with a snake by your side? Yes, I seen a man reach out to God before he died. Yes, I did. I know the Lord forgive us for these sins, but I'm starting to think the kingdom of heaven is for these kids. I told my daughter, there's one man in your bed, I won't stand for left. For my son, I hit your head on that fragile leg. I lost some niggas to that dope, I lost niggas to the feds. Remember Jono tried to stick me for that cheese on that bread, yeah, I was thuggin' with Lucky and that nigga left me for dead. Endured to the end, cause I listened to what was said. Mother told me she loved me when she was sick up in the bed. I was running them streets, but the truth made me a man. Shit, I don't really speak cause she'll never understand. That's why I ain't even tell her about these voices in my head. I'm still trying to manage my anger like Uncle Craig.
I seen heaven turn to hell, I gotta stay alive. Lord have mercy on my soul, stand by my side. I killed the old man and I watched him die. Lost a couple niggas, guess he wasn't my round. Hey, play my niggas, lay you down, they all down to ride. Keep my gun in my arm, I gotta stay alive. I gotta stay alive. Keep my gun in my arm, I gotta stay alive.
All right, let's check everything. All right, 1 second here. All right. All right, I'm gonna sign first. All right, let's clap it up. All right. Shalom, Yahweh Shem Al-Shah Barakatah to the brothers. Shalom, Yahweh Shamar. Allah Shem Al-Shah to the sisters. All right. I am Priest and Officer 5000, Maccabia, out of ISUPK, Minnesota. All right. If anybody has any questions or concerns, you can type it into the chat. Let me see one thing. There we go. All right. Yeah. If anybody has any questions or concerns, you can type it into the chat. As always, as you know, every Tuesday, Lord allow, we have what is called the Brotherhood class, where we discuss, just various topics about, the many things that plague our communities. This is a place, a space for, Black and brown, and to be very specific, so-called African Americans, Black, so-called Latino, Hispanics, North American, Native Indian, people. Because we are God's chosen people. This space, this class is not for everyone, all right? This only pertains to the people that are in the Bible. Because just like any book, there is an audience. And that is going to be God's chosen, who are Black, Hispanic, and North American Indians, to be exact, once again. All right, we are not the Christian church. We are not a religion. If you are, in order to be an Israelite, it is a bloodline. It is, it's cultural and traditional, but of course, you have to be from the forefathers of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. All right. So, by chance, do you have any questions at all? All right. Well, anytime that you may have a question during the class, whether it be on topic or off topic, you can go ahead and just raise your hand, and we'll go ahead and get straight to it. All right. All right. So I know we a little crunch on time right now, but we're still gonna dive into the topic. So as you see, the title is the necessity of forgiveness. All right. I think this is always a heavy topic as far as what it means to forgive somebody, and the importance of forgiving someone. All right, and we are going to talk about both ends of the spectrum when it comes to just that, forgiving. Okay, not only should you know and learn how to forgive somebody, but you should also do the same for yourself. Okay, because everything applies to us. It's very universal. Everything in life not only just affects you, but it affects others around you. And once we get that understood, then we can learn how to put things into perspective when it comes to dealing with one another. How to move through life and situations and many scenarios that's going to always pop up in your life, whether it be, some years ago, today, or tomorrow. Okay? And we are going to get this straight out of the Bible. We are not going to do a whole lot of talking, because that's what the church does. They talk, but they don't give any solutions. All right? So, can you get that? All right. Give me a second here. No sweat. You sweat. No sweat. All right. Thought somebody's right there. No sweat. Next time, too, just check through the little window. All right. No sweat. So, all right. So, with that being said, let's get Matthew, the 18th chapter. Matthew 18:1. Again, if anybody has any questions or concerns, please type it into the chat. We are not Christians. We do answer questions. We welcome them. I pray you understand. All right, yeah. So Matthew 18:1 is going to be the first one. We are going to dive into what Christ has said. All right, and we are going to dialogue and read for a little bit. You know what I mean? We ain't going to just jump around. We are going to get straight to the point and do some study, do some reading. Go ahead.
Matthew.
So make sure that you project your voice as well. Baba Shah, you got it.
This is Matthew chapter 18, verse 1. At the same time came the disciples unto Jesus, the Yahushua, saying, who is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven?
Now, let's make sure that we digest and taste these words, right? It says, at the same time came the disciples unto Jesus, or Christ, Yahushua, saying, who is what?
Who is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven?
All right. Now, that's a pretty bold question. You know what I mean? Who is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven? Let's keep going. Verse 2.
Verse 2. And Jesus, Yahushua, called a little child unto him and set him in the midst of them.
Keep going.
Verse 3. And said, verily I say unto you, except ye be converted and become as little children, ye shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven.
Now, okay, so let's backtrack just for a little bit, right? With the question, it says, who is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven? That's the question, right? Now, if you know about the back and forth between Christ and the Sadducees and Pharisees, or the multitude, the people that Christ used to teach, because Christ was a brother where, when he traveled with the disciples, people had questions for him. You know what I mean? Like Christ had followers, but at the end, there were only his disciples that was with him. Out of all the followers that Christ had, only a small number of men followed him and listened to him to the very end, right? So, but a lot of times when Christ was asked these questions, they were not genuine. There was no sincerity in it. It wasn't sincere. Okay, some people were asked questions knowing that they knew the answers about them already. Like for example, the Sadducees and Pharisees would ask questions that they already knew the answer to it, but they will always kind of be, ingenuine, kind of just, spiteful, be a kind of just being like an asshole about it, right? And also too trying to find a way to unalive Christ, you know what I mean? But however, this person asks, who is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven? So keep going.
Verse 2. And Jesus called a little child unto him and set him in the midst of them.
Now, let me tell you something. Christ was cold-blooded, right? He was cold-blooded because not right away did he answer this person who asked this question. But instead, as he's about to answer the question, he had this child, he pretty much told the child to come here. And this is what happened once the child came towards Christ. Keep going.
Verse 3. And said, Verily I say unto you, except ye be converted and become as little children, ye shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven.
Now, what is the spirit or the purpose of Christ saying that? So when it says in verse 3, and said, Verily I say unto you, except ye be converted and become as little children. Let's start right there. What does the word converted mean?
You want me to get the definition?
If you want, yeah. Unless you know it off the top of your head. What does the word converted mean?
The word converted, to my knowledge, is to switch or change over into something else.
I like that. Okay, Most High Christ. Get the definition. You get the definition. I like what you said so far. He said to switch over or to change. The word converted. To switch over or to change. I like that. All right. Let's see what the Webster's dictionary says. All right.
Convert or converted?
It'll be convert. So converted is convert is going to be the base word or the root word.
This is convert, as is Salakia, as into influence. And as into transform. Right.
So you said transform, right? Now transform or transformation means to change. You know what I mean? Like, for example, just to be simple, if you look at the cartoons, the Transformers, you know what I mean? They are cars, but they change and transform into something different. You know what I mean? Ain't they like robots in a sense? You know what I mean? So yeah, so they're cars, but then boom, out of nowhere, they're robot cars. You know what I mean? So to transform means to change. To convert means to change. All right. So now that we have that, read it from the top again.
Matthew chapter 18, verse 1.
Oh, no, 3.
Oh, 3. Sorry.
That's what.
Verse 3. And said, Verily I say unto you, except ye be converted.
Now this is the first part of. This is him saying this first based on his question, right? He's saying, except ye be converted, meaning that you have to change, right? Keep going.
And become as little children.
Now, what is the purpose of that part? Become little children. What does that mean?
I would say shedding what you knew before.
I like that. Oh, okay. Hey, you close. You close. Okay. What else? I like that answer. To be a little like what does it mean to be
reborn?
Say that again.
To be reborn.
All right, I'll give you a hand. Here we go. That's it. Yes. To be reborn. You know what I mean? To be a little children, because children come into the world as being born again. They are brand new. You know what I mean? Like for example, I think about my daughter that I have, and she just got here, but she acts like she's been here. You know what I mean? And I think that's all babies, all children, all toddlers, because once they get out the womb, they just trying to live life, just trying to figure everything out, But you have to be like a little child. You have to start at the beginning. All right, you have to be taught again, and the Bible speaks about that. So in order to be the greatest in the kingdom of heaven, you have to be born again. You have to start from the bottom. All right, you have to start from the beginning in order to be anything. All right, like for example, at a job, if you want to be the manager, if you want to be a supervisor, employee of the month, you have to start at the base level of the employment, which is, the regular associate. You know what I mean? You might have to, do the regular pay. But if you want to move up, you got to start at the very first position and then work your way up. It's no different with, that's rank and order too. You know what I mean? Better yet, that's just life. You can't just walk in, you can't just walk in anywhere in life and be like, all right, I'm going to be the president. Well, you haven't became the politician first. You weren't, in the office. You haven't started. You haven't did no work in order to be a president yet. But like there are steps and things you must do beforehand. You know what I mean? And that's anything in life. If you want to start somewhere, at the top, you got to work your way from the bottom first. You know what I mean? So keep going on that part.
As little children, ye shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven.
Actually, read it one more time. No sweat.
Ye shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven.
Right. So if you are not converted, meaning that you have not changed, because a lot of people must change from what exactly? That thing that, you have been taught and learned that is wrong. You know what I mean? Like there are people in life that live a life where they think that they have it all figured out and they don't. Like especially something that I've seen coming into the UPK, a lot of people come in here thinking that they are up here when in actuality they are really down here. Because of who they used to be or who they were in the world, they think that, that they can still be that in the UPK. Now, certain qualities and certain characteristics, yes. But however, you still have to be taught. You have to be taught how to, take away this and keep this in order to use it. Like, for example, like a lot of brothers that are, a lot of brothers who live the life of drug dealing, a lot of brothers who live the life of just, being in gangs and stuff like that. We accept all those brothers. You know what I mean? Those brothers should rule the world, but in a way where it's righteous. Those skills of them knowing how to, set up an operation, knowing how to, have power and structure over men and stuff like that. Like they were doing it the wrong way, but there's a way to do it. You know what I mean? All those qualities and strengths and skills that they have, it's not entirely terrible. It's just, it was being misused. But however, there's a way to do it. You just gotta, know how to use your gifts. There's a way to misuse your talents. People do it all the time. You know what I mean? They always say a drug dealer is a businessman. I get it, but they are in the wrong type of business. You know what I mean? You should not be in the business of unaliving people. All right? Because that's what drugs do. It unalives people. It takes away people's children. You are still in the lives of mothers and fathers. You know what I mean? Aunties and uncles and everyone. You know what I mean? So that's, so me saying that, you have to change from that. You have to start all over. And there's a way to start all over. You don't have to be a baby again in order to start all over. You can be at whatever age you are, because in the UPK, we come in at many different ages. There's a brother that I love so much, man. This brother, I believe now he's in his 60s. And this brother came in about like five, almost 10 years ago. And what he knows now, he wish he knew back then. But I mean, the Most High doesn't make any mistakes. We come in at the time that we were supposed to come in. You know what I mean? It would have been glorious if all of us was born into the truth. But that's not the case. You know what I mean? But however, since we are here, let's put in the work. Let's do everything that we have to do in order to, make sure that our seat is assigned to us until Christ returns. Because one thing that we have to do is make sure that we are found working until Christ returns. That is our job. So, anything that we are dealing with in our personal life, whether it be, any type of demons that we are dealing with, we have to work to fight against that. So that way we can remain that changed person and not the old person. You got a question? No sweat. So keep going on that one. Let me see, verse 4. Verse 4.
Verse 4. Mm-hmm. Whosoever therefore shall humble himself as this little child, the same is greatest in the kingdom of heaven.
Now, what does the word humble mean?
conversations about this at school.
John.
Humble is, I would say, being humble is knowing when to sit back and listen.
Okay, I think that's one part. Yeah. I like that though. You said being humble. Say it one more time.
Like being able to sit down and listen.
You said being able to sit down and listen. That's what being humble is. I like that part. Okay. What else can you add to that?
Also, I would say, I don't really know how to explain it. Like correcting someone, but not like putting them down. Like
I got you.
Yeah, I don't. But like I would say, like if you were having a conversation with somebody, if someone was clearly wrong, you could be like, all right, I understand where you're coming from. Like if someone was in the world and they was talking about Christianity and how this is wrong or whatever, or how they don't understand anything in the truth. You could be like, yeah, I understand that. You were raised like this, but you also gotta be able to, like it says in the scripture, like that we just read. You gotta be able to learn something else.
Right. Okay, I like that. So whosoever therefore shall humble himself as this little child, the same is greatest in the kingdom of heaven. So in a nutshell, being humble is, you know what modest means?
I don't know the exact definition.
Okay, but to be modest is, like, okay, you know what it means to be boastful, right? You know what I mean? So you want to be the opposite of that. Like you want to have I'm looking for the word, like because I'm trying to give you the word based on the context of this. To be humble is kind of like to be, kind of be reserved, to have meekness, to have some type of character about yourself where it's not. I'm trying to give you the word. I can't think of the goddamn word. It's okay. Being humble is not being prideful and arrogant. I'll just say that much, okay? Yeah. Being humble is someone who is not prideful, someone who's not arrogant, but more is reserved in themselves, okay? So read it one more time.
Verse 4, whosoever therefore shall humble himself as this little child, the same is greatest in the kingdom of heaven.
Right, and that's one thing that we must always be, like we should always be humble when it comes to the Most High, because at the end of the day, we don't deserve any mercy. Like no one deserves any mercy from the Lord because of what we have done against the Lord. Understand that we have offended the Most High, and we still, and when I say we, meaning as a nation, there are still offenses being made at this very moment. Right now, and outside somewhere, right now in the world, there's somebody disrespecting or dishonoring, I use that word, dishonoring the Most High. And again, the Most High still forgives our people, still shows mercy at a time when we don't deserve it. You know what I mean? And I'm walking down that line to get straight to the topic of the necessity of forgiveness. All right. Is that it on that?
Did you want me to read verse 5?
Let me see. Sure. Yep, that's fine.
Verse 5. And whoso shall receive one such little child in my name receiveth me.
So, and whoso shall receive one such little child in my name receiveth me. What does the word receive mean? Like what does that mean when he says, whoso shall receive one such little child in my name? What does that mean? You don't know?
No.
Okay. What do you think the word receive means?
Receive means obtain.
Obtain. Okay. How would you obtain such as a little child? Now understand the context, right? It says we have to be like a little child, and in order to be like a little child, we have to be humble. Okay. So now that we understand those two things, whoso shall receive one such little child in my name receiveth me. What do you think that part means? If you don't know entirely, that's fine, but you can guess.
I would say someone who would humble themselves and call on him or him and his name would be like he would listen, I would say.
So, for example, if you are such as a little child, as he explained how we should be, and we do exactly what he says, which is in his name, right? Because he's the example and the embodiment of the laws, the statutes and commandments, then we have received him. You know what I mean? So, for example, right? Yeah, and Christ said this multiple times before. He said in John 14 and 15, if you love me, keep my commandments, right? Now, of course, yeah. So how do you know someone truly follows the Most High? They obey. They obey and do as he says. It's easy to say, it's easy to say out of your mouth that I follow God, I love God, or I love you and I love her, but I don't show any type of example of that love. You know what I mean? I'm talking behind your back. I'm plotting against you. I wanna hurt you in every way possible. That's not love. That's hatred. You know what I mean? But however, if we do exactly what he said to do, which was to change and to be like that little child and do it in his name in a way that he showed us, then yes, we have received. We are just like him. We have received him. Okay. Go to verse 6.
This is Matthew chapter 18, verse 6. But whoso shall offend one of these little ones which believe in me, it were better for him that a milestone were hung about his neck and that he were drowned in the depths of the sea.
Right. So now, if we offend one of these children, then it's better that we pretty much be unalive. Because these children are humble. These children are, someone that are, they're innocent, they're precious. But if anyone offends them, read that part one more time.
But who shall offend one of these little ones which believe in me, it were better for him that a milestone were hanged around his neck, and that he were drowned in the depths of the sea.
Right. So, but whoso shall offend one of these little ones which believe in me, like Christ is saying, like, okay, you want to be the greatest of the kingdom of heaven, this is how you do it. But however, these ones that believe in me, that follow me, if they are to be offended, it can be a offense. It's not just something that you say, but it can also be something that you do to somebody. It's better that you die. That's how serious that's how serious Christ takes his brotherhood, his love for his brothers and his sisters. It's better that you die. Like also too, like when it comes to the priests and prophets, right? God's people. It will really I feel bad for people who talk online or in person and try to come up against those in the UPK because it doesn't end well. Eventually, something is going to happen to them, not by our hands, but by the Lord's. And I find it very amazing, but terrifying too, because you really want to watch your mouth. You really want to be careful what you do and how you go about, this person or that person. Like me personally, I've literally seen people talk trash about certain brothers and sisters in school, and then when you look back at that person who was doing all that talking, just causing a lot of chaos, right? It's just they're either in the grave or their life is just completely upside down. And once again, it's not by our doing; it's by the Most High's hands. Now, somebody else might have been responsible, but the Lord is behind all of that. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
Because the revenge is of the Lord.
Say it again.
Because the revenge is of the Lord.
Yeah, damn right. Damn right. That's right. Yeah. Me, I'm the type of nigga. I'll be like, no sweat. All right, no sweat. You wanna do this. You wanna do that. You know what I mean? You wanna try to argue, fight with us. You wanna talk crazy about us. No sweat. Well, Lord be with you. But I don't know if he will be with you. But Lord be with you. You know what I mean? Because it's not going to end well. All right. And trust me, man, like it's sad. And also too, even furthermore, when you pray for these people that have done you wrong, that have offended you, I mean, you know the scripture about the hot coals on someone's head, right?
I don't remember.
You remember that one? I got you. No sweat. Hold on. I got you. Let me see. Hold on. Ooh-wee. Let me see. Hot coals on the head. Let me see. I want to say we actually spoke about this off camera. Me and you and Kodash. Actually, I got it. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, I think I found it. Go to Romans 12 and 20. Not the prayer, but I think I'm paraphrasing something else, but this is still it. Romans 12 and 20. Yeah. Yeah, man. Like I'm telling you right now, it doesn't end well for people who offend God's chosen people. You know what I mean? Or better yet, just a brother or a sister, a priest or a sister of the Lord who truly serves the Most High. It just doesn't end well. And once again, I've seen it. Like my short time being in ISUPK, I have seen some things that I'm just like, damn. You know what I mean? It's like, that is horrible. But go ahead.
This is Romans chapter 12, verse 20.
Uh-huh.
Therefore, if thine enemy hunger, feed him. If he thirst, give him drink. For in so doing thou shalt heap coals of fire on his head.
Yeah. So, you know how people say, you guys are a hate group. You guys hate everybody that's not in ISUPK, blah, blah, blah. We still feed our enemies. When we have food drives and clothing drives, guess who's in the midst? The oppressor and the other nations. You know, all the people that are not God's chosen people, that are not Black, Hispanic, Native Indian, we still feed them. We still give them support and aid. And now those enemies of our nation, those Black, Hispanic, Native Indians that hate us, we still feed them. We still help them and support them. But in doing so, it says that in doing so, thou shalt heap coals on fire on his head. You know what I mean? Because the Most High protects his children. He doesn't let things slide like man may want things to slide when somebody offends them. The Most High always put things in check, whether it be the oppressor, whether it be me or you or whoever. He always puts things in check when things are out of order. All right. So I just want to get that as a precept real quick. Let's drop that. Let's get actually go to verse 2. Romans 12 and 2. Okay. Actually, I should be putting this on the screen. Let me see. Yeah, Romans 12 and 2. No sweat. Oh no. You know what? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Go to Matthew 18 and 21. Let's go back to Matthew 18, verse 21, because I want to touch on this part. I'm going to get to the point of this. Because once again, the topic is the necessity of forgiveness. Let's make sure that we don't, leave that.
Is it the 7?
Matthew 18 and 21. Yeah. No sweat. Matthew 18 and 21. You got it.
This is Matthew chapter 18, verse 21. Then came Peter to him and said, Lord, how oft shall my brothers sin against me, and I forgive them? So I forgive him till 7 times.
You can read to the next one.
Right. Verse 22. Jesus, Yahushua, saith unto him, I say not unto thee until 7 times, but until 70. Yeah, so like 70 times 7.
Right. So once again, so the purpose of that, right? The purpose of that scripture is not. You see how he says 70 times 7. So Peter asked the question, how often? Often means often. How often should I forgive my brother? 7 times? And Christ responded, no, 70 times 7, right? But now, if you do the math, is he really saying that? Is he really saying, whatever that number is, that many number of times. I mean, if you let somebody, what is that, 70 times 70?
Yeah.
What's that number? 70 times 70. I forget the number off the top of my head. I used to know it off the top, but he's not saying that many times, because are you really going to let someone just offend you that many times? That's not the point of that. Say it again.
490.
Yeah, 490 times. You know what I mean? Or whatever the number is, right? He's not saying let someone offend you or I'm sorry, forgive them that many times. He's saying just always do it. You know what I mean? Forever. But however, because the thing is this though, right? We have to understand, how long have we been a people of the Most High? It's been thousands and thousands of years. And you telling me that we only offended the Most High a few times? Absolutely not. Throughout these records, we've been in captivity a lot. And for many years at a time, by the way. Some captivities were shorter than others, but we have done a lot that dishonored and offended the Most High, even until this very day, right? So, however, the purpose of forgiveness is understanding that, okay, you have to let go of that thing. Because if you don't forgive somebody, or if you don't forgive yourself, it's just going to be a continuation of a disease that's never going to die. Like, for example, right? If somebody that you got into a fight with, you know what I mean? Y'all got into a fight, y'all relationship is broken up for whatever reason. It could be over a woman, it could be over some property, some values. And y'all just hold this grudge over each other for years and years and years. And because of that, there is no type of mercy. You know what I mean? When you don't forgive somebody, there's hatred, there's mercy, there's malice, there's a whole bunch of things that is wrapped all around that, to where now, you know what I mean, you don't have love for this brother, but you got love for this brother. It doesn't make sense. Like, you have to forgive all people. When I say all people, all Israel, for any offense that they do unto you. Now, is it easy? Absolutely not. It's gonna, you're gonna have to get some counsel. You're gonna have to get some help for something that someone has done to you, or has done to others. Now, you can also be offended based on what somebody has done to someone else too that you love, as you should be offended. You know what I mean? But it's for you, and it's for that other person as well. All right. Let me ask you: has anybody ever offended you before? I mean, you've been in school.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You have a family, right? So, but yeah, and also too, when anybody offends you, you have to let them know. Because another big thing that Satan does very well is, when brothers or sisters do not speak about their offenses, Satan plays on that. He creates more damage and scenarios in your head to feed off of that. Because I know one thing is, I'm talking to a few brothers and sisters when they tell me, like, man, you know what, they try to tell me about their problems with somebody else. And my first question is, have you talked to that brother? Have you talked to that sister? And they like, well, no, I haven't, this, that, and third. I'm like, that's your problem, because you're coming to me about this issue that you have with somebody else, and you're creating scenarios in your head that are not even real. And that right there is Satan. It's Satan for a lot of reasons. What you're thinking about is wrong as hell. And another thing is, you're offending me because you're coming to me about it versus the person that offended you. Now I'm offended. So I'm going to let you know that I'm offended, and that you should go talk to that brother or that sister. Because don't think that I'm a bitch ass nigga, excuse my language, to try to come to me about a problem that you have with someone else. Only come to me if you have a problem with me. That's how that goes. You know what I mean? But however, that's a demon. Satan plays off of that. And then what you find out is, right, when you tell that brother or sister to go talk to the one that offended them, they find out that, damn, you know what, everything I was just thinking about in my head, that was Satan. I know. I'm very much aware. You know what I mean? So again, how many times should read that again? 22? No, I'm sorry. 21 and 22.
Verse 21. Then from the top.
Yeah, kind of.
Verse 21. Then came Peter to him and said, Lord, how oft shall my brother sin against me, and I forgive him? Till 7 times? Verse 22. Jesus, Yahushua, saith unto him, I say not unto thee, until 7 times, but until 70 times 7.
Right. So 70 times 70 meaning forever. You know what I mean? You're gonna like it can be difficult. I mean, I'm sure it is. Like there are certain offenses that happen where if you don't have a strong foundation, if you don't have a strong foundation of what it means to forgive, it's going to seem impossible. There are some offenses where you truly need to get counsel for in order to receive justice. Every time someone offends you, you by right should receive justice. Just like, for example, right? When you break the law in America, you are being punished for breaking that law. And that punishment is justice for whoever was offended. Make sense?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So for example, someone damages someone's property, like their house or their car. The person whose property that is has the offense. They are offended. And however, that's breaking the law as well. So whoever done that has to be punished. And that punishment of that person is the justice for the person who was offended behind all of that. All right. So that's how that goes. In life, when you make an offense, you have to do right about it. You have to do something to make it right. Otherwise, what are we doing? You got to have some type of justice for a crime or a offense that was made. Everybody deserves justice, right? And now how, also too, with the oppressor, we live in a world where justice only seems to be on his side and not ours. As Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, how many times do we get unalived? How many times do we get, mistreated and we get no justice at all? We scream no justice, no peace, and we don't get nothing. All right, and we still get unalived. We still get mistreated. We still looked as scum of the earth to these people. Okay, let's drop that. Let me see. Let's get Leviticus. No, hold on. Actually, get Romans 12:2 right now, if you could. That's what I want. Romans 12:2. Yeah, that's what I need. Okay. You got it? All right, no sweat. Okay. All right, let me check something. Yeah, Romans chapter 12, verse 2.
This is Romans chapter 12, verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
And be not confirmed. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye.
It's like conform.
Oh, conform.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, all right. Chapter 12, verse 2. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God.
Right. So this is Paul, by the way, who's speaking to the school of Rome, and he's telling them, be not conformed to this world, because why? Why not be conformed to this world? Meaning, the word conform means like don't submit to the ways of society. Like right now in 2026, what is popular that should not be popular that everybody is doing?
Homosexuality.
Say it again. Homosexuality. Oh my God. I mean, that community is just all over the place. We thought Atlanta was bad, but it's everywhere. You know what I mean? There is a community of, you know, LGBT, ABC community just everywhere, all across the earth. Now, at one point, it used to be shameful. It used to be shunned and people were disgusted about it. But now it's so acceptable that everyone it seems like is on board with it. You have men online that, you know, deem themselves to be the most masculine, the most militant, the most, you know, manly man. And they are considering having intercourse, having relations with a man that wants to be a woman. It's sad. Like you have actors right now, you have influencers and comedians and content creators who are considering having relations with the same gender as themselves. You got this man who's interested in another man who's playing dress up, cosplaying as another gender. You can't make this up. You want to say something else like it?
Nah, it's terrible.
It's terrible. Now, also too, drug addiction. Drug addiction. I mean, after the many examples of people losing their life behind every drug known to man, we still make it look beautiful. You know, we still make it look, you know, glorious. You know what I mean? There's more music. I wouldn't blame the music, but there's so many examples on, you know, on television and media and just even outside that makes drug addiction look just fine and okay, as if we did not just lose so-and-so just yesterday. We were not just at so-and-so's funeral just 2 months ago and a few years ago. Like all our parents are dead because of these drugs. All of our children are gone because of these drugs. I mean, you are losing your children either by the grave or by the system because of these drugs. You are having the worst health issues when you were once healthy as hell because of these drugs. But yet it's still a popular thing. It's still, you know, common. It's still a beautiful thing that we should continue, right? It's what the world is showing you. Also, to another one, hoarding. You know what I mean? This sister was online. I just saw this video, I think last night, right? It's this comedian. I forget the brother's name. He was stitching a video of this woman saying that she was walking outside and some man called her a prostitute, or you know what I mean. And she was like, what about my outfit gives prostitute? And she was like, I got a cowboy hat on. First of all, she had on a mini skirt that is not even mini at this point. You could damn near see her you know, her drawers. That's how short the skirt was, right? And then she had on like a cowgirl vest, but the vest is literally just covering her breast. And I mean, you're talking about not a prostitute, you're very much just that. You look just like a prostitute. Otherwise, what else do they look like? What else does a 304 or a sex worker look like? They look like promiscuous women, and that's exactly how you are dressed. And it's just so sad. Like I feel like every couple of months to every year, it seems like there's less and less clothes on people. You know, men and women, especially women. And it just seems like the sin just gets increased. It just increases to the point where it's acceptable. But read that one more time, if you could.
Chapter 12, verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
And be not conformed to this world.
Say that one more time.
And be not conformed to this world.
Uh-huh.
But be ye transformed by the renewing of your word, of your mind.
Mm. No, that's fine. So be not conformed to this world, meaning do not submit, do not obey to this way of life. Because in every age of society, there is going to be something that is going to be common to everybody that should not be common. But however, like also too, holidays. With everything that has been happening in the last year with Trump has been on a rampage of just disturbing the entire earth. Not only is America affected, but all of the earth is affected. Like, you can't tell me this man is not the devil. He very much is just that. And he steps into it. He doesn't deny it. With the Epstein's files, with the wars, like there's so much going on, and yet we still go back to the holidays, the birthdays. We still go back into life and society as if none of that shit just happened. The government shutdown, right? Okay, you remember when who was it? Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon was just was talking against Trump, and they shut him down for like what 24 or 48 hours, and then everybody's like, you know what? We are not going to support Netflix and Hulu and this and the third, right? Just that quick, they lost money. They lost their power of people subscribing, people tuning in to their subscription. Imagine if we did that with everything considered and said. Imagine those many people who say, you know what, we are not going to support these news stations. We are not going to support this type of media. Why don't we not support drug addiction as a whole? You know what I mean? You say that weed is better than cigarettes and that people die from fentanyl more than weed and blah, blah, blah. How about no smoking at all? Because it's all going to unalive you at the end of the day. All right? So you want to say something? Oh, no. You good?
Did you want me to read 3 after that?
Yeah, time. No. Actually, I want you to read 2 one more time.
Chapter 12, verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
And be not conformed to this world,
Right.
but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind.
Right. And this is another thing, too, on topic, right? With all the many things I just mentioned, we have to be renewed in our mind. Because if you are not, you don't know how to, you don't know how not to be conformed to this world. Once again, it's very, like everything in this world is very enticing, very tempting to want to do. It looks nice, it looks fun, it looks glorious to you. It tastes good, it feels good, right? But I mean, at the end of the day, it's not going to end well for you. But however, what we have to do is transform our way of thinking. Because with the drugs, with the woman, with the whoredom, this is where offenses come in. This is how people lose their life, whether they are in the grave or behind bars, right? So for example, I mean, if you are not transformed and renewed in your mind, as soon as you get into an argument or a fight with someone, you might want to just hate them for the rest of your life, or you might just want to unalive them, take their life. That's something that you might want to do. But when you truly understand what it means to love yourself like you love your brother, you will understand that you will never ever step against that line to try to unalive them. You will never consider wanting to hurt them. Now, of course, by all means, defend yourself. We ain't saying, don't fight for your life or anything like that. No. But you won't be so quick to want to harm your brother. You know what I mean? So you want to be careful, because now someone in the world, they want blood. They want you dead. As soon as you talk about they loved one, talk about them. People like this generation too is very sensitive. Can't take a joke. Can't take any type of correction. You know what I mean? Like this generation, I mean, just this society is so soft. So where you say any little thing, let alone step on someone's shoe, I mean, it's your life. You know what I mean? So anyway, keep going on that. That ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. Yahweh. Right. So and the water for saying that part. So that you may prove what is that good, acceptable, perfect, and will of God. What is good is, okay, as far as righteousness, right? Or what is good? What is good is to be offended by what someone said to you or did to you and not want to take their head off their shoulders. But you got to be seasoned. You have to be skilled in knowing how to de-escalate a situation like that. To know how to move in a scenario where someone, then disrespected you, dishonored you in a terrible way. You got to have wisdom. Because what that teaches everybody else is, I don't have to lose my life and be in prison for 20 years when someone calls me out of my name. when someone, try to punch me or try to hit me, stuff like that, you have to have wisdom to show what is good in a situation like that, as such. Now, what is acceptable? You should, like the world should accept the fact that you are not a bitch-ass nigga if someone calls you a bitch-ass nigga. It doesn't mean that you got to go fight the whole world, because people online are going to talk. People are going to say whatever to you. Does that mean you got to fight the whole entire world? No. But there's a way to move to where you don't have to, because if somebody calls you a bitch-ass nigga, if somebody, does any offense to you and you don't do nothing, but you use wisdom, I mean, you are amazing. But if you act on them calling you out of your name, trying to fight you, trying to unalive you, and you try to do the same thing to them, I mean, you might just be a bitch-ass nigga. I mean, if you behind bars for 20, 30 years because you took this person's life over what? Something so small, you might just be that bitch-ass nigga. And then, sister, you might just be a silly, stupid bitch. You know what I mean? You're fighting over a man that is having sex with you and the other woman. At the end of the day, he's still going to do it. So you did all that for what? You're stupid. You're absolutely stupid. All right? So, again, when it comes to renewing your mind, you have to change the way that you think. Change the way that you move based on your actions, your decision-making. And in the UPK, we have changed our minds. Once again, we have brothers and sisters who lived a life of, being in prison, being behind bars, and, being someone who used to, hurt people behind the smallest things that you could think of. People who used to hurt other people behind just the most unnecessary, stupid things that you can think of. They did all manner of wickedness, but yet they changed their minds, they changed their ways, and they are no longer that person. And now they are showing that thing that is good, acceptable, perfect, and the will of the Most High. And this is all about having the spirit of the Most High. When you act on your emotions and when you don't forgive people, that's not the spirit of the Lord. That's the spirit of Satan. Because again, I did mention earlier, Satan, that's how he works on that. He plays off of that so perfectly. Oh, you say that you don't like so-and-so? No sweat. Well, there's going to be a scenario where so-and-so shows up at a place that you never thought you was going to see him. And then boom, that 5-year beef is going to turn into death. Y'all going to fight or kill each other to the death, and then boom. That 5-year beef, and now it's going to really be permanent because someone's going to lose their life in the grave, and then the other is going to be in prison if he's not already in the grave. You see how that works? Now, y'all could have, I'm not saying y'all could have been the best as friends, but y'all could have been at a mutual relationship to where y'all forgave each other for whatever that offense was, and now y'all both walking around living your life, not in the grave or in prison. Like, there are so many offenses that could have been avoided before it went left. All right. Drop that. Let's get let's get Leviticus chapter 19, verse 17. Yeah. Leviticus chapter 19, verse 17 is what I want. All right. As soon as you got it, go ahead and read it. 19 and 17. Yeah, chapter 19, verse 17. It's going to be Leviticus. It should be like it's going to be in the Old Testament. It's the first 5 books of Moses. No sweat, you got it. 19 and 17. No sweat.
This is Leviticus chapter 19, verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him.
What does that mean? Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. What is your heart?
How you feel?
Okay. What is your heart connected to in this context?
Like the relationship, or which way do you mean?
Okay, you know how the Bible says, thou shalt love the Most High, or I'm paraphrasing, that thou shalt serve and love the Most High with all thine heart, mind, and soul. Right. So your heart is your mind. Your heart, your mind, and your soul is pretty much like one. All right, because can your heart? Your heart feels, right? It pumps blood. You know what I mean? Like you hear people always say like my heart hurts for this person, or like I can't stand this person, like in my heart. Like people say that shit all the time, right? But say it again.
Like I felt it in my heart.
I felt it in my heart, but it's not you really feeling it in your heart, but it's just like the way you're thinking, the way you're feeling it. It's just an emotional thing. But spiritually too, your soul, your spirit or your mind, you should not hate that person, because the hatred really is in here. How you feel and how you think about somebody, it's in here. Because before you do anything, right? Before you get up and walk out the door, before you just pick up anything, it starts in your mind first. Before you decide to pull that trigger, it was conceived in your mind first. You know what I mean? Before you decided to talk, crazy to this person, that person, it's just something started here first, and then the actions, came out, right? So when it says, read it one more time.
It says, verse 17. Mm-hmm. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor.
Right. So let's stop there. We should not hate, our brother in our heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor. What does rebuke mean?
Rebuke, I would say, is to completely, like, I don't want to say disregard, but at the same time, I feel like that's a good word for it.
You are very close. Okay. So I'll just get it for time's sake, right? The word rebuke means to criticize sharply, to serve as a rebuke to, or check. You know what I mean? So when you rebuke somebody, you are correcting them. You are checking them, right? So, but it says, thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him. Meaning this, right? If you love that brother, if you love that sister, you should tell them where they are wrong. That's the best. That's what you should do, because that's wisdom and that's love, and that's you not hating them. The hatred comes in when you don't do any of that. When you don't tell them when they are wrong. When you don't express the dishonor, the offense. And then what slowly starts to happen is that you start to have this hatred, and it starts to build. It starts to build like a damn snowball that starts at the top of the hill and it rolls down. It just, the hatred starts to grow. It gets bigger, and then it can last for years. It can last for months, and then boom, somebody's gonna snap eventually, and it's going to show. So at the door, when there is an offense, you check it at the door, so it doesn't continue on. You know what I mean? So rebuking someone, checking someone, based on their actions, is you showing them love. Now, there's a time and place for something like that, right? You can also too just go to him and him alone, and her alone, and let them know, like, hey, I just want to holler at you real quick. It was something that you said the other day. I wasn't sure what you meant by it, but it did offend me. And if they don't tell you right away that, Salakia, I offended you, then there's a problem. And in order to fix that problem is counsel. Because if you're not, now also too, you got to be very careful, right? I mean, not you, but just listen loud and clear. There are people, when you tell them that you are offended, they won't say right away that Salakia, but yet they will explain that you are in the wrong spirit, and that I'm offended that you saying that you're offended. Like, it's just backwards, right? So you got to be careful. You got to be careful in the sense of don't take that as, okay, we talked about it, that's it, that's all. No. If you did not receive or gain that brother, then you have to go to counsel, because that's what Christ said. That's what you must do. Okay, because you are offended, and because you are offended, you have to receive justice. Go ahead.
Doesn't it say when you said go to him and him alone? If he listens, you gain the brother.
Yes. Yeah. Because that's Matthew the 18th chapter. If you go down later, I think it's Matthew. I think we are going to actually get to it. Yeah, Matthew 18 and 15. That's exactly where that's at. We're actually going there next. So yeah, that's right. So let's keep going to verse 18 actually.
Verse 18.
Mm-hmm.
Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any judge against the children
of grudge. Oh, that's what. So start from the top.
Oh wait, what did I say?
He said gudge.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. There's a whole R in there.
Thou shalt, verse 18, thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people, but thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am the Lord.
Now, also too, in the book of Leviticus, this is, one of the first 5 books of Moses. And so, you know where this is going. This is, Moses speaking to Israel because there were offenses being made. There was, disagreements being made amongst one another. And once again, that's very normal. And the reason why we have to speak about forgiveness is because there are going to be offenses made. And mistakes will be made as well. Now, the best way to avoid it is us understanding what it means to, first we got to understand what brotherhood is. And once we understand brotherhood, we have to understand when a situation where brotherhood gets tested, it gets tried, we have to know what forgiveness is. And once we know that, we are going to be tawab always. Because every time offense happens, we know how to handle and settle a situation. And that's the beautiful thing about the UPK, because you truly know how to handle every situation through the Bible, through men that are seasoned with wisdom. All right. I mean, man, once again, I have seen some things of where people have been offended. You know what I mean? And just how it's been handled is just so beautiful. Because also too, another thing is, I'm gonna touch on that part in a second. I'm gonna save that for the next scripture. I ain't gonna go too long. Yeah. So read that one more time, please.
Verse 18 from the top. Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people.
Right. So thou shalt not avenge. Meaning when someone does you wrong, it doesn't mean that you should have the authority to want to go ahead and cast judgment on them. Meaning that you want to go, beat them down. You want to take their life. You want to try to hurt them because they hurt you. And that's another thing too, right? When somebody hurts you, it doesn't mean you have to get even. You should never, ever try to get even with them. There is a way to handle that situation where you get justice. If somebody try to unalive you, it doesn't mean you should try to do the same to them. All right? But however, you got to have wisdom in every situation. Now, is it tempting? I get it. In the spare of the moment, if somebody, beats on you, someone try to unalive you, you want to make them hurt because you're hurt. I get it. You know what I mean? But there is a way to where that situation can be handled. Now, am I saying that it's always going to be a conversation? Sometimes there are punishments. There are consequences that doesn't always involve talking. If you know what I mean, and I'm gonna be very careful based on how I say that. You know what I mean? Just because someone does something evil to you doesn't mean something evil can't happen to them. But again, you know, when it comes to judgment, not everybody can say like I can't tell you every situation how a judgment is going to be brought upon somebody. I can't sit there and tell you that because no one can. Every situation is unique. Every situation is different. All right. But however, at the end of the day, justice has to be served. Whatever that justice looks like, but it's according to the Most High. It's not from a place of being wicked, being, you know, a person having malice like the oppressor. I mean, there are judgments that have happened from the Lord where when like we read about it during Sabbath service, when the people were going against Aaron and Moses in the wilderness, the Most High had their ass eaten up by fiery serpents. He opened up the ground, the earth, and they fell in and he closed it. They died. I mean, so, you know, that was an offense. I mean, what did you know, did the Most High say, look, Moses, tell Israel this, tell Israel that. He did actually, right? He did tell them, hey, speak to them this way, tell them this, give them this message. And they didn't hear. They didn't hear. So the Most High had to meet them where they were. And the Most High, you know, gave them a punishment based on their actions. Based on their, you know, based on the continuous offenses. It was just, hey, you know what? I said this, I said that. You're not going to listen. No sweat. I'll show you this. Then it happens sometimes. Yeah, I mean, talking doesn't always do the trick when it comes to justice, but there are measures that can be taken to give that person justice based on the offense. I'll leave it at that. What else? That was it. All right, let's get Matthew 18 to 15. Okay. And it's better just to, you know, be a brother or a sister who do your best to not to offend. But if it does happen, just be a person who shows love and brotherhood at the end of it. All right, because when there's an altercation amongst brothers and sisters, at the end of it, y'all should be brothers and sisters again. Go ahead.
This is Matthew chapter 18, verse 15.
Yeah, 15.
Verse 15. Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone.
Right. Once again, the Bible gives specific instructions. It says what again?
Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone.
Right. It didn't say tell everybody. It said thee and him alone. You know what I mean? That's what it said. Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass. The word trespass simply means a offense. It means the breaking of something, a violation. Once again, like we see signs all across America that says, do not trespass this property. All right? Because if you trespass, that means that it's a violation. You have done something, you have broken something. Also, too, I'll just get a quick precept, right? When it says what actual trespass is, according to the Bible. So it reads, right? Let me see if this is it. Yeah, this is 1 John chapter 3, verse 4. You don't have to get it either. Whosoever committed sin transgresseth also the law, for sin is the transgression of the law, right? So when you commit a sin, you're transgressing the law, meaning that you're breaking the law, you're violating the law. When someone trespasses against you, they have sinned against you. They have violated you. They have, you know, they violated you. You know what I mean? They have went against you, offended you. And when that does happen, your job, it's an order, it's not an option, by the way. And that's another big thing that people must understand. It's not an option. It is something that you must do. if you truly care about brotherhood, if you truly care about sisterhood, you have to do what the Bible just said. And these are Christ's words. Read it one more time, please.
Matthew chapter 18, verse 15. Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone.
Right, thee and him alone. When someone dishonors you, you have to go to him and him alone. You sisters, her and her alone. A brother or a sister, you go to each other alone. Do not go to social media. Do not go to your friend that you speak to in the world. Do not go to your children. Do not go to everybody and their mama. Do not go to your wife. No one should know about your business, your offense with this other person unless it's in front of the council. That's it. If it's not that person alone, it should be to the council if it goes to council. Otherwise, it should be between the person who caused the offense, the person who was offended, and the person who caused the offense. That's the only two that should know about this conversation, about the offense. So like if someone said, what if they keep offending you and disregard? I'm assuming you mean disregarded, right? Okay. So again, counsel, it doesn't matter who the hell it is. You know what I mean? Nobody is above counsel, even the counselors. I pray you understand. And this is also something that General Muhammad literally just said the other day. He said, even if it's, he said it doesn't matter the rank, it doesn't matter the person, take them to counsel if necessary. That's it. And also too, another thing I want everybody to understand, right? Because I'm tired of seeing this because it only hurts you in the long run. You have to separate the relationship that you have with someone based on that offense. You have to separate who this person is to you and what they mean to you. And let me break it down, right? Because you've been knowing this person all your life for a short time, y'all are close, you don't want y'all relationship to shift or change because of this offense, because y'all got into an argument, y'all got into a little altercation. You want everything to kind of be just cool and smoothed out. If you do not address the situation with that person, the relationship is going to be worse. It's not going to be good. It's going to be unbrotherly, unruly, unsisterly. And then you're going to wonder why there's friction, why there's tension. Now, if you address the situation and that person, whomever they are, does not hear you out, then you go to counsel. And let's read it. These are not just my words, but this is in the scriptures. Read it from the top one more time, please. Select it.
Matthew chapter 18, verse 15.
Mm-hmm.
Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone.
Yeah, thee and him alone. Not everybody. Not to Facebook, not to YouTube, not to anybody, but them. All right, keep going.
If he shall hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother.
Right. If this person heard you out and said, Salakia, I'm sorry, my apologies, something to that effect. Salakia. You know what I mean? Excuse me. I'm you know what? I didn't mean it that way. But since you came to me and told me that you felt that way, Salaki, my apologies. That was never my intentions. You know what I mean? You know what? I probably should have never joked like that. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? You know what? I didn't know that would, do that to you. My apologies, Salaki. If you don't hear those words of any sort of apology, take them to counsel. Fuck everything else. You know what I mean? Straight like that. Damn everything else. If that person does not apologize, for the offense. Let's say that the person who got offended was wrong. Still say Salakia. You know what I mean? It's not going to hurt you to say, I'm sorry. I mean, damn. I mean, is it hard to say those words? I'm sorry. My apologies. Salakia. And the word Salakia means forgive me or excuse me. Or Salak means forgive or excuse, right? If they can't say that to you, then goddamn, you definitely should go to a counsel. Because what is wrong with someone, for, not saying that? So like, what is wrong with that person for not saying that? Like not saying I'm sorry. And mind you, and also too, like, there are people out here who want everybody to forgive them, but then they can't forgive somebody else. That is absolutely insane to me. And boy, oh boy, have I seen it. It is very, very disgusting. Because, remember what the Lord said, right? He said, if you don't forgive others, he's not going to forgive you for what? Your sins. I mean, that's heavy. Because, understand, the Most High is showing mercy on your sins, right? Because you are, you're still breathing, you're still here. You probably went through what you already went through. I mean, and just because you get forgiven doesn't mean that you can't be punished. That can very much still happen to you, right? But also, too, the Most High will remember your sins if you don't forgive everyone else who has offended you. I mean, you're going to hold that grudge over that person's head until when? Until they're dead? And then you're going to cry about it later? And that's another thing I hate. I truly do not like going to funerals. I do my best to avoid it because I have my own way of processing, a loved one's death. And I don't like to always be at a funeral because there's a lot of hypocrisy there. As far as the ones that say, oh, I wish I did this differently, did that differently. It's like you had all your life. You had 30 years. Well, you had 30 years to fix that broken relationship. You had time. Because at the end of the day, no one knows when we are going to die. No one knows when, something in our life is going to change to where we are no longer here, right? But when you have an issue with somebody, it's better that you fix it now because there's no telling what happens later. You have 30 plus years, you have 5 years of not talking to that person to fix that relationship. And now once they pass, you wish you had more time. You had the time, you just didn't use it. You had all the tools, you just never used it. And that's the problem that we have to fix, that we have to stop. Because there's not so much, there's not that much goddamn anger in the world where it should be like that. And the Bible also says, be angry and do what?
Sin not.
Be angry and sin not. By you being angry for those many years, holding that grudge, you are sinning. And it also says in the same scriptures, don't let the sun go down upon your anger. Meaning, don't let time pass and have this grudge still on your mind. Still have the situation just plaguing you. And Satan just constantly making up scenarios in your head. Do what the Bible says. If you do the opposite, there's going to be issues and problems. That brotherhood is going to be, it's not going to be brotherly. It's not going to be much of any brotherhood at all or sisterhood. So read it one more time, please, and then let's go to 16.
Moreover, verse 15. Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone. Mm-hmm. If he shall hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother.
Right. If that person, whether it be a brother or a sister, hears you out by apologizing, you have gained that brother or that sister. To hear somebody out is to understand what they are telling you, right? You hear them out like, okay, damn, you know what? I apologize. I didn't mean to offend you, but Salakia. You know what I mean? If they try to, beat around the bush or say anything opposite of that, I mean, you need to take them to counsel because you are offended and you need justice. All right? Keep going. Verse 16.
Verse 16. But if he will not hear thee, then take with 3, 1 or 2 more, that in the month of 2 or 3 witnesses, every word may be established.
I'm sorry. My bad. I was reading something. Can you say that one more time?
And he shall.
Well, actually, just from the top, 16.
Verse 16. But if he will not hear thee, then he will take with thee 1 or more, than in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, every word may be established.
Right. So once again, if that person does not hear you, and you know what's so amazing? A lot of times in a situation, when someone is offended, there are witnesses. There are people that are, literally seeing what had unfolded that day at that time. And when that happens, you know what I mean? When you go to counsel, there's going to be someone that can tell this story from all sides to where the judge or the counselor can make the right decision on what's to happen based on who got offended and who was the offender. Okay? And then boom, justice happens and punishment. All right? And that's how it goes. And once again, at the end of that, you should come back as brothers and not rivalries. All right? Or rivals. I'm sorry, rivals. You know what I mean? You should come back as closer and stronger because y'all was able to have an offense, have an issue, and then the issue got solved. But after the counsel, after that situation or issue, there should be no more of an issue. You know what I mean? Like otherwise you got to go back to counsel again and again until the issue is resolved. And also too, I'm gonna make this very clear, but I think I want to do a part 2 of this, right? I'm gonna speak about this most likely next week, right? Another thing is too, I'm gonna give you other scenarios on, I'm gonna give more scenarios about in general, right? I'm gonna give more scenarios about situations where offenses happen and people who do not take counsel too well, people who do not receive counsel well, and things of that sort. All right, because there are many examples of that. It's definitely in the Bible. This is one out of many. This is the bedrock scriptures that we go to, just to break down what you should do immediately. And what should be done immediately is that you should go to him and him alone. And that's that on that, all right? Did you have a question at all? Or did you want to add anything? I mean, it's up to you. As far as in general, whether it be a scripture or a comment, anything at all.
The verse 17, where it says, and if he shall neglect to hear them, tell it unto the church. That's the council.
Say that one more time.
Where it says in verse 17, and he shall if he shall neglect to hear them, tell it unto the church, which would be the council.
Yeah, the council. So the church. Yeah, so the church is going to be the congregation, right? So, for example, you know how we have like a major council, right? Major council means all of Israel. All of Israel as far as officers and above. We are all in a council and we give reports about what the work that's being done in our cities, right? But however, if the main counselor, like General Mahaim or just the generals, right? If the generals is handling this offense, it's called offense counsel, and the person who caused the offense doesn't hear you know what I mean, doesn't hearken to the judgment or the punishment and all that stuff, right? Then he or she's going to be taken in front of the church, which is the congregation, meaning all of Israel. So all of Israel is going to be involved with this one person who did not agree with the council of him being, judged or so on and so forth. And then we go from there. And now keep reading, actually. It actually tells you.
But if he neglect to hear the church, let him be unto thee as a
heathen.
No, I mixed that together. Let him be unto thee as an heathen.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And a publican.
A publican. I know you want to say Republican so bad. But it says, like I'm going to read it again for you. And if he shall neglect to hear them, tell it unto the church, which is the congregation, right? The word church is Christian dogma. Christian dogma just pretty much means that it's not the right terminology of the word, so to speak, okay? Like there's certain words in the Bible that we use differently because of the spirit or the history behind a religion. Like, for example, we don't use church, we use congregation. We don't use Jesus as much. We say Yahweh because of the Hebrew. We say Yahweh, not Jehovah. So on and so forth. You know what I mean? We don't say Holy Ghost because ghost is not real. We say spirit. You know what I mean? So, but if he neglect to hear the church, meaning all of Israel, right? Let him be unto thee as a heathen man and a publican. Okay? So, if he neglect, go ahead.
What's publican?
A publican is a civilian. You know what I mean? So someone that is just living life regular, it's not a priest, not an officer, not a trooper, just, someone who just lived a regular life. They don't have any type of, they don't hold office to anything. They don't, live by really any standards. They just kind of live life like people do in the world. Yeah. Just, nothing. Nothing's going on in life, but, finna get high, finna, have sex with these whores, X, Y, and Z. But it's not like you are really doing something in life, like serving the Most High, right? So if he decides to neglect, the council and neglect what everybody else is saying, as far as all of Israel putting their input in based on the whole situation, then don't sweat. All right, hey, you know what? You got it, brother. Sister, you got it. You are out of here. Because if you can't follow and accept this judgment, this checking, then you can't survive here. You can't live here. And we live in a house that you are able to get kicked out of. This is a army. This is a house. This is a sanctuary that you can pretty much get bye-bye. Like you can leave. No one's holding you hostage. I mean, really, how the general would say, like, I don't want nobody else coming into the school. and he says that because, okay, in the Christian church, everybody is accepted. In ISUPK, not everybody is accepted here. Why is that? Because not everybody lives by the standards of the school. No, not everybody lives by the standard of what the Most High wants. And once again, everything that the ISUPK does comes out of the Bible. There's nothing that we are making up. Now, are there protocols and stuff like that that's not directly from the Bible? Not exactly, but it's still shaped around it. But more than anything, our standards, how we do everything, is structured from the Bible. You know what I mean? But if you can't follow the rules, then you don't belong here. And that's anywhere in life. If you can't follow the rules of anything, you're not going to last long. And a lot of people, know that. And a lot of people try to strag along because of the benefits, And I learned another thing too, right? There are going to be brothers and sisters that only come into the ISUPK for a shower, for food, for shelter, for, a time, and then they leave. And that's that. Some people come in here for the wrong reasons, and they are found out, and then they are gone. This is not a place where you can pollute this this place where it's established with righteousness, with authority, with discipline. Like, this is not a place like IUIC or any fake ass club. You know what I mean? Like, this is not a place that you have a phase. I want to be an Israelite. Oh, UPK. I'm with the brothers. I'm with the sisters. This is life or death. This is a lifestyle. This is a culture. This is something that the Most High wants to or is establishing throughout all of His people. Whether everyone sees it, whether you like it or not, this is happening. And those that do not fall in line are going to lay down. Even that is in the Bible. So if we can't follow the simple rules of when someone offends you, what you should do, what you should not do, I mean, goddamn, you are just going to be the problem every single time. And we know how to handle problems because we specialize in that in UPK. Because we have the Bible. The Bible teaches us how to handle those issues. Because we're looking at examples in the Bible as well. And Christ showed us how to do it. We have to do everything that the Bible says and not what we think we should do. When it comes to the scriptures, you don't have to do too much thinking. Go ahead.
Just don't lean into your own understanding.
I'll give you a hand. There we go. Damn right. That's it. I mean, the brothers say you don't have to lean onto your own understanding. That's absolutely right. Because you have the blueprint. It's in the Bible. It's in the scriptures. You have the rules. You have everything that you need. You have the answers to the goddamn test. You know what I mean? You have the answers to the test. So why not use it? And I mean, if you go against that right there, like, I just don't understand. And it really comes from people just being used to doing what they used to do, which is, okay, you know what? I feel comfortable more doing this and doing that. No, you are going to have to get uncomfortable. What's going on?
Knock out the phone. That was good. You just got there.
Oh, okay. No, you good. No. But like you gotta. I mean, the truth is very uncomfortable at times, and that's okay. But you gotta understand that there are people who are better than you, who are seasoned and have more wisdom, that know. I mean, that have been doing this longer than you. You have to believe and understand that they know what they are doing. If you say that you believe in what's going on in UPK, and you are a soldier, you are a sister, you are a woman, a man of the Lord, I mean, you got to trust in these men who have the authority and rule that the Most High deal with to govern over your lives, to help you. Otherwise, what are you doing here? If you can't trust nobody, if you can't forgive nobody, if you can't, be a service to anybody, I mean, what the hell are you doing here? Why are you here? And it should always really be, what can I do for the school, not what can the school do for me? It should be, what can I offer? What can I do to help to make this better? But if you cannot, follow the basic rules of what to do when a brother offends you or when a sister, offends you, then you are in the wrong place. That's that. You are definitely in the wrong place. I think that might be it on that part. Let me just see. Just one more thing. That was it on 17, right? Let me see. All right. Everything else, I'm just gonna get next week. There's a lot more, to this topic that I want to get into. All right. Because I mean, I can't fit everything in just one week, class. There's other scenarios and stuff like that. And based on this, class, let me know if you have questions later. I would hope somebody got questions after this class. Because there's so many things that you can really go into to explain and break down when someone offends you and how to deal with that situation. And now, a lot of times, I'm going to speak in general. But sometimes you can always call for counsel, and it could be specifically to your offense, your issue and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So with that being said, I think we're gonna end off with that. I imagine, which means to stand. All right. All right, so this is the ISUPK security announcements. We are the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started out at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shut themselves to the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Ties, which is a commandment. You can find it in the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21. The book of Malachi, chapter 3, 8 through 10, means 10 in the Hebrew, ma'ashra. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the treasury department or teacher. A priest fund, which is a free will offering for a priest, not mandatory whatsoever. Whatsoever amount you would like, of course. Now, upcoming Holy Convocation. So the Feast of First Fruits is going to be May 31st of this year. However, it's 50 days is when we celebrate. On the 50th day, which is May 31st, is when we celebrate it. Okay. Otherwise, right after the Feast of Unleavened Bread is when it would have, started technically. You know what I mean? But we only celebrate the 50th day. Once we get to that Holy Convocation, we will break all that down on why. All right. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black, boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. All right. With that being said, again, Imagium, which means to stand, Wapani Hakodam, which means to face the east. Now, so like we are over the time's sake, we are going to get into the Lord's Prayer. All right, into the east this way. This is the Lord's Prayer. You can find this in Matthew chapter 6, verses 8 through 13 in the Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shukah, Yahweh, Malakwatha, Taba'ah, Ratazaka, Hayah, Aisha, Baratazah, Kawah, Hayah, Bashemayim, Nathanaw, Lakam, Call, Yawam, Wasalakanaw, Kabawath, Noah, Kasalaknawa, Kabawath, Yanawa, Kabawath, Yanawa, Wala'ah, Taba'ah, Wanasaya one, Abo, Hawashinawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Waha'ala, Waha Parath, That's right. La Awalamia. No, sorry. La Awalamia. Aman. In the English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. And forgive us for our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not to temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Amen. All right. Star, which means to turn, facing each other. All right. Minute Israel, my Shabbat. Imagine. Barak. Yahweh Hashem Yahshua Barakatah. Yazmatah, means hands to the side. Courtesy salute for the sisters. Sar. Minute Israel, my Shabbat. Imagine. Barak. Yahweh Shamar Allah Hashem Yahweh Shai. Yazmatah. Class dismissed. All right, Shalom, Israel.